Yo, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back. Justin here. As always, thank you so much for stopping by for a very Icelandic, a very minimalist, a very sheep-centric review today. We're going to be talking about A24's new film, Lamb. Now guys, as always, feel free to drop your comments below. I love talking with you guys about all the movies that I review. Help me out and like this video, and let's go ahead and get into Lamb. Now, before I dive too deep into this movie, I want to preface this review similar to how I prefaced my Green Knight review. You have to know what to expect before you even go into a movie like Lamb. This is a very quiet, a very minimalist, a very meditative, sort of slow burn movie. I wouldn't even call this movie a burn. This is more of just a minimalist fantasy tone poem. I don't know where I picked up that phrase tone poem, but that's just the way I like to describe movies like this. This movie, even more so than other A24 movies, is very A24. It's filled with a lot of those in-between moments that would normally be cut in a more traditionally narrative movie. There's lots of extended sequences in this movie of people on a tractor, or people coming in the house and kicking off their shoes, or boiling water, or preparing meals. It's one of those type of movies where you spend a lot of moments just hanging out with your characters. I personally love these type of movies. I find them very relaxing. I find them meditative. I find them very visually interesting. And if you're into that type of stuff, I think you'll be very happy with Lamb. Lamb tells the story of a Northern Iceland couple who struggle to move on after a devastating loss. While the birth of a mysterious creature on their remote farm seems to afford them a second chance at parenting, dark forces threaten to reclaim the source of their newfound joy. So Lamb tells the story of two Icelandic sheep farmers who you follow throughout this movie in their day-to-day life. They don't tell you exactly what happened, but the movie tells you that they went through the loss of a child and they're struggling to cope. Just getting up and doing their day-to-day chores in life is a chore itself. This movie is very minimalistic in its storytelling, so it doesn't just flat out spell everything out for you. Everything you need to know, or everything the movie wants you to know, it sort of shows you with character interactions, expressions, and just the way the characters interact with each other. One day, as they're helping one of their sheep give birth, which there's full-on live sheep birth in this movie, so just be prepared for that. It was a little jarring when I first saw it, but it's a mysterious sort of abnormal sheep. They start raising this mysterious sheep creature as their own child. But deep down, they sort of know that this sheep creature really isn't their child, and they've sort of taken it from its mother and sort of pushed its mother away. Now, as far as a plot summary and as far as a story explanation, that's really as far as I'm going to go. Like I said, this is extremely minimalist. This is one of those movies that's about an hour and a half, an hour and 45 minutes, and only about 3 or 4 major things actually happen. You just sort of follow this couple through the course of a couple days as these events unfold. This movie was shot on location in Iceland, and the cinematography and the locations of this movie are just absolutely stunning. It's just one of the most beautiful films I've seen all year. The movie sort of lets the landscape be another character in and of itself, with these gorgeous mountainsides and streams, like expansive wide shots as they do their work or as they walk across their farmland. You can just see for miles and miles and miles into these snow-capped mountains and these rolling green hills of Iceland. It's just, I already have a fascination with Iceland and sort of a love affair with everything that Iceland is, and this just pushed me even further into that love affair with Iceland. It's just absolutely gorgeous. The two main performances are absolutely fantastic. Numi Rapace, who some of you guys know from a bunch of stuff, but I remember her from Prometheus and a couple of other things. She's fantastic in this movie. The performances are really naturalistic. A lot of people have described this. I've seen this movie described in a lot of places as a horror film. I would not personally describe this as a horror movie. It's more of a fantasy, folktale, fairy tale type of movie with some horror twinges mixed in.
Twinge.
But it's mainly a fantasy movie with sort of this ambiguous overall narrative that, like I said, leaves a lot to the viewer and a lot to the audience to sort of decide what they want to interpret from it. It is very much an art house film with a capital A. Lamb is really for the hardcore art house A24 fans. But what's amazing about the art house and independent cinema of today is technology has advanced so much that it's not out of reach for independent filmmakers to make these gorgeous films that are still made on a minimal budget, so I can't stress how beautiful this movie is. This movie has a lot to offer if you are into this sort of things. Amazing naturalistic performances, beautiful locations, animal-human hybrids, fantasy elements, horror elements. This is a really, really interesting, beautiful film if you are into this type of cinema, so I highly recommend it if that's what you're into. This is definitely going to go down as one of my favorite films of the year. I really, really enjoyed it. Just know what you're getting into with Lamb, and I think you'll have a good time with it. So guys, be sure to let me know what you thought of Lamb down in the comments. I'm really curious to start a conversation with you guys, and I think we're done here, guys. Stay weird. Remember to always be yourself, and I will see you in the next one. Bye. Bye.